Hey there, nation, and welcome to the show where we help you to play miniatures wargaming on a budget. It is I, Commander Cheapskate, and we are back with a little bit of an impromptu video. If you guys have been noticing on the channel, I haven't been putting up all that much content as of late, usually about one video a week. The reason why that is the case is because I've just been really busy with my master's program right now. I'm kind of like in the last stretch of it currently, so I'm devoting most of my time to getting this done so that way I can get that degree taken care of and get the pay bump in my pay and everything else like that. So that's kind of taking the priority right now. Hobbying is all good and fun, but when it comes to making money, it's a little more important. So because of that, that's the reason why you haven't seen that much content as of late. However, though, I decided to kind of break tradition with my one video a week and actually start focusing on this video. The reason why is because I was looking at this on the Warhammer community page. This actually popped up a couple of days ago, and I didn't realize this was an actual thing. Kind of shows you how busy I am. So I decided to check this out. It looks like we have Palanite Enforcers unleash their unique brand of justice with new officers, weapons, and a book. So this looks extremely promising. I'm really excited for this. For those of you guys who know, we've been seeing a lot of books dedicated to the various factions of Necromunda. Pretty much all the houses, all the core gangs have gotten their books. Same thing with the Ironhead Squad Prospectors, as well as the Ashwaste Nomads. So now it looks like the Enforcers are getting the same treatment as well. Hopefully, Games Workshop continues doing this by providing updated rules set for all their gangs. Hopefully they'll do exactly the same thing for all the cult gangs. So hopefully Gene Stealer cults, Corpse Grinder cults, as well as Chaos Cultists will get those as well. That'd be really awesome as well. So let's go and talk about what it says here real fast. It says Necromunda is a lawless place where gangs vie for control through endless violent skirmishes, and opportunistic criminals eke out a living in labyrinthine innards of the great hive cities. Despite the chaos innate to this brutal environment, Lord Helmar still expects his subjects to practice obedience, diligence, and devotion. This is where the Palanite Enforcers come in. Uncompromising in the face of crime and willing to punish all disobedience, they impress the law upon the Underhive with a butt of a gun. They also act as House Helmar's personal army. Factious times on Necromunda require sterner measures, and so grizzled veterans and new weapons have been authorized for use in the field. So they're here. This looks really cool right off the bat. I love the way these miniatures look with their trench coats. That actually looks really awesome. It kind of reminds me of the Palanite Companions that's available from House Helmar from the art book from book 3 of the Aranthian Succession. So these look really cool as well. Continuing on, it says Palanite Enforcer captains wear snazzy coats and impressive hats to note their rank, unmistakable as they stride through the Underhive. They have absolute authority on how they conduct their operations as long as gang violence is kept in check and production quotas are met. Reporting directly to them are similarly hardened Enforcer Sergeants and Subjugator Sergeants, the latter of which are equipped with heavy armor and have much experience in dispersing unruly crowds, which is every crowd on Necromunda. So it sounds like we're getting not just some new character models as well. It sounds like we're getting like a new box set as well. What I really like about these characters is the heraldry that they have. For example, like they have like these cords hanging off of their shoulders, look really cool. The helmets with the feathering on the top. It's very reminiscent of the artwork from the book 3 of the Aranthian Succession when they showed the Palanite companions from the House Helmar Alliance. What I like about it too is that it looks like we got some new equipment with these guys as well. It looks like we got bolt pistols as well as power swords. Looks like we got plasma pistols now available for Palanite Enforcers too, which is extremely exciting as well. At the same time, also looks like we got some kind of Vox looking thing over here. It looks like it surgically enhanced this guy to talk, which I'm not sure how he's going to be able to talk with, wires coming out of his face, but whatever the case may be. I mean, that's kind of cool, right? Like, I can imagine you could use that to be like, I am the law, like Judge Dredd. I mean, that'd be really cool as well. Hopefully we'll be able to get something that looks like a disintegration gun, so that way we can make these guys look like those Palanite Companions, as I mentioned before. These trench coats are just really cool looking as well. I love the way the armor looks on these guys as well. And as you can see, we have some sergeants they're kind of showing us as well. So it looks like we have two flavors of sergeants. So it looks like we have their typical subjugator sergeants. These guys, of course, have the upgraded armor, as you can see. Looks like more aggressive, so it's like protecting the lower abdomen, for example. That layered flak armor look as well. Looks like they got additional armor plating on their shoulders as well as their forearms as well, which looks really cool too. And then, of course, it looks like we just have a normal patrol sergeants. My only fear with this box set, if this is a new box set, I hope it's a box set that is like in addition to the normal Palanite stuff, just because I know like a lot of players, you have a lot of box sets, just the old Palanite Enforcer miniatures as well as the Subjugator miniatures, and I'm afraid that if they take those away, that might be an issue because, you know, from what I understand from this article, there's only 8 of these guys, right, as opposed to like 10 and then, you know, 6. So, you know, hopefully they don't get rid of the old Palanite Enforcers. Hopefully they keep them because they're very much cool. I'm kind of glad that I got the Palanite Enforcers that I did during the time that I got them. But I love the way that these guys are equipped. It looks like the stub gun looks really good as well. The stub gun looks really massive on these miniatures, I might add. I mean, they look really brutal. They kind of remind me of the Lawgivers from Judge Dredd, for those of you guys know what that is. Looks like this character is also carrying a power maul, which is really great too. This looks like an auto gun, which is kind of nice, which is kind of interesting, kind of a choice for that one. The reason why is because Bad Zone Enforcers, right? They talk about that a little bit. So maybe that's why they have new auto guns now for Palanite Enforcers. I wonder if they're going to make them better than normal auto guns, like giving them like a 2-up ammo roll, for example. I could see them doing that, or making them have the plentiful trait, just because, you know, Palanite Enforcers are different. I love the way this hand grenade looks, with this guy kind of thumbing off the pin on the hand grenade. That looks really cool as well. I really like this helmet. This helmet right here looks really cool. It looks very skull-like. It kind of looks like the emblem of the Palanite Enforcers emblem, actually, with those teeth and then like that really grim-looking stare to it as well. I do kind of like the old Palanite Enforcer helmet from the original sculpts, but these ones are kind of a nice little take on that as well, which is quite nice. The only thing I'm worried about is these chest emblems. I wonder if these are like free-handed chest emblems or if these are decals, just because yours truly struggles with freehand painting, so that's the reason why I'm worried. If it is free-handed, great, I don't have to worry about it. But if it is sculpted on the chest plate, that might be a little bit of a pain to paint. I just can imagine how much of a pain that's going to be to take care of. That's right though. And of course, it looks like we have a bolt gun, but it looks like this bolt gun has some kind of addition to it. It looks like there's like a flashlight next to it, which is kind of cool. Looks like a flashlight mounted flashlight for the gun, which would be kind of neat, or some kind of like one-shot thing. That'd be kind of cool. Like if they give them like what they call exterminators that House Cordor has. They can the Redemptionists can add a one-shot flamer. Be kind of cool if they have like a one-shot grenade launcher or something like that. But it is probably going to be a flashlight is what it looks like. It keeps on saying this set of 8 miniatures is completed by a pair of hard case cyber mastiffs. Even in the grim darkness of the far futures, mutts remain man's best friend. These ones are so heavily augmented with bionics and armor that they're hardly comfort to be around, but they are very efficient at mauling unlucky recidivists. So that looks really cool though. It looks like they brought back the cyber dogs. So these guys look like they're completely cybernetic for the most part. If I remember correctly, I think these guys kind of fold up, don't they? Don't they like fold up into like a suitcase so you can carry them around, I think? It's how they're originally supposed to be, but these look really cool. I like the way how robotic they look. And it looks like they got some kind of like, either some kind of tasing weapon inside their mouths or some kind of projectile weapon of some sort. That just looks really cool as well. In fact, you could probably use these for kit bashing. For example, like, what's that one? Doggo, I think is what his name is. A cyber mastiff that's super cybernetic and can shoot, digital weapons from the House of Iron for the Orlok gangs. That'd be kind of cool. I could definitely see people making that and converting that into that Dramatis Personae. And it says, with gangs bringing powerful specialists, nastier guns, and bigger brutes to their street brawls, the Palanite Enforcers are unlocking their armories and tooling up with specialized gear. So that part is quite cool as well. And it looks like we're also getting a upgrades pack. It says the weapons and upgrade pack contains 2 matching sprues with packs and 5 heads, 10 sets of right and left arms, and a range of weapons. These are shock batons, assault shields, manacles, web guns, and concussion carbines to give your patrolmen plenty of crowd control options, and a selection of more lethal weapons are included for when full force is authorized. Nothing says justice on Necromunda like a high caliber round delivered right to the forehead from a sniper rifle. So, okay, so I got some mixed feelings about this box set. Not because I don't think it's great that they have this box. I mean, that's fantastic that they have it. The reason why I'm kind of worried about it though is because of right here where it says, well, it talks about like having like, more lethal weapons and things like that. The reason why is because in the original box sets, when you got your Palanite Enforcers, you came with 2 sniper rifles, 2 concussion carbines, bolt guns and shotguns and everything else. And same thing when you got your Subjugators box set, they already automatically came with assault shields as well as grenade launchers. So my fear is if they do get rid of the original Palanite Enforcer box sets and the Subjugator box sets, that means that you just only have these miniatures here that you can use from the 8 that you have as opposed to the original 10 that you had, and then you have to buy like these weapon upgrade packs to get the sniper rifle back, to get the concussion carbine, that kind of thing. I hope they're not phasing away the old boxes. I don't want to sound like an alarmist. I hope they don't do that, just because that would be a major pain for new players if they do decide to do that. So hopefully they're not going to do that. Hopefully it's just this is an addition to. because you know, you already come with a, you already have a sniper rifle ready from the original box set as well. But it looks like they gave us some new ones. It looks like they gave us a flamer, which is quite nice. It looks like we gave us a web gun, which is also cool as well. So this is the little web projector here. In fact, this is making me kind of hopeful, because if I wanted to make a disintegration gun for Palanite companions, I could just take off the muzzle off of the web gun and just have this part here, and I just can proxy that as a disintegration gun, which would be kind of cool. Instead of using concussion carbines, I could do that. So hopefully that's the case there. I really like these bare heads that they actually have now for some of the fighters. I think that looks really cool. I think that'd be a great way for you to have your bad zone enforcers, because, you know, bad zone enforcers are enforcers who don't have as much equipment as their Hive counterparts. So maybe that could be a good way to denote which ones are actually bad zone enforcers and which ones are normal Palanite enforcers, which is quite nice. They got these massive stub guns. These things are huge looking as well. I like the flamer, I like the power mauls as well. It looks like they have power knives available now for Palanite enforcers, which is quite interesting. And these assault shields look kind of interesting. They look very different than the ones that you came in originally with the subjugators. So I wonder if these are like some kind of upgraded version of assault shields, like this little dynamo looking thing right here in the middle. Like, is it like some kind of energy shield that has an addition to the assault shield? It'd be kind of interesting to see if that's a new piece of equipment that's available to Palanite enforcers, which is kind of cool. And of course, you got your arms and arms that go with all the new weapons they have. Also, it looks like they have autoguns too, which is quite nice, because that way you can equip your bad zone enforcers with autoguns and not to worry about kit bashing too much. And it says, rules for everything above will be available in Necromunda Bastion of Law, a fully fleshed out House of Style book for Palanite Enforcers. There is a gang list featuring the captain and sergeant above, 2 new scenarios, gang tactics, a bad zone enforcer gang list, which is great because now people don't have to worry about going online to look for that list anymore. That'd be awesome. For those who want to attempt to tame the desolate wilds of Necromunda, new weapon profiles, and plenty of other new ways to run Palanite Enforcer precincts. Now this part here, this last sentence here, it talks about other ways to run Palanite Enforcer precincts. That makes me very hopeful. What I hope what ends up happening is that we can see some new things coming out for the Palanite Enforcers. Things like making them more unique in some way. Well, best case scenario, you see a lot of like gangs belonging to like different factions, for example, for like the Ironhead Squad Prospectors, right? They have their ancestry that they can choose from that gives them different bonuses and boons in games, just like how the Ash Waste Nomads have different tribes. So maybe we'll see something like that kind of a game mechanic for Palanite Enforcer precincts. That'd be kind of cool. It'd be kind of cool if you have like a tactical like group where it's kind of like a mixed bag of everything, or like a riot control group, which is like subjugators by themselves, or some kind of like pursuit group, like a canine unit. That'd be kind of cool if they have something like that, or maybe like a SWAT team version of what they have. That'd be kind of cool if they do that. What I'd like to see too is like specialties for like Palanite Enforcers. Hopefully, if they do that, that'd be really cool too. Like for example, like you have like job specific, you know, fighters in your Palanite Enforcers. For example, you have a guy who is a sniper, for example, and they have certain bonuses when they use sniper and when they shoot at long range, for example. Or like a breacher, for example, a guy who goes in first when they breach into a fortification. Maybe they have some kind of special rule attached for that, or like a canine handler or something like that. You know, it'd be kind of cool if they have different jobs available for them. I don't know, I'm just speculating here because I'm just super like, you know, psyched for this. So that looks really cool there as well. And it says, our scanner is still turned in to enforcer frequencies, and calls from reinforcements in the Outer Hive and Ash Waste keep coming in. We'll be putting in a dispatch notice for the rest of the patrolmen just after we've washed down their snack with a lovely mug of warm recaf. Check back with Warhammer Community later for an ETA on backup. It'll be there any minute now. Now, speaking of backup as well, besides all this really cool stuff that we're seeing here, I also subscribe to the Necromunda Reddit forum on Reddit as well. And one of the cool things I noticed, I'm going to see if I can pull it up, is this. So this is from a guy named Carl R. Johnston. He actually posted this within the Necromunda subreddit. And this looked actually really interesting. It says this just appeared online, and it shows 2 Palanite Enforcers, and it says Palanite Enforcer Haunts, right? So this is part of viral marketing. Now, I couldn't able to double check the story. I couldn't find any other sources online that talked about this particular image, so I don't know if it's photoshopped or if it's a prank or whatever the case may be. It does look kind of legit though, because the way that the miniatures look and the way that their style is very reminiscent of what Necromunda Palanite Enforcers look like. So hopefully this is real. If it's not real though, I can understand, you know, if someone's just making something cool. I mean, I've done that kind of thing myself when I made an April Fool's joke with the Warhammer the Old World unboxing. But yeah, it looks like Palanite Enforcer Haunts might be a thing. And if for those of you guys who are unaware what Palanite Enforcer Haunts are, they actually talk about them way back when the Book of Judgment first came out. Palanite Enforcer Haunts are basically sanctioned psychers that work for the Palanite Enforcers. And if that's the case, that would be really sweet if this is actually the case, because that way Palanite Enforcers do have access to psychers. Psychers are becoming a really big part now of Necromunda, so having the ability to actually use psychers in their own gangs would be very cool. It kind of reminds me of the movie Dredd. For those of you guys who ever watched the Judge Dredd film Dredd in 3D, which came out in 2012, in that particular story, Judge Dredd is training a rookie named Judge Anderson, and she's a psychic, and she's actually going out for like a training day type situation to see how she does out in the field. So she has psychic abilities. So this kind of reminds me of Dredd 2012. Excellent movie, by the way. If you haven't got a chance to watch it, I highly recommend it, if you're of age, of course. But it looks like that's what these characters are. So you can see here they have like these, looks like they have like energy panels attached to them that kind of like contain them. It looks like they have like manacles around their legs and stuff and their arms, so that way they can't escape. It looks like their helmets have been modified as well to allow psychic energies to take place, which would be really cool. I'm not sure if they're going to have their own psychic discipline or not, or whether they just use the one for the outcasts or whatever the case may be. Hopefully they'll make it very flexible that you can use whatever psychic ability you want. For example, I can imagine technomancing being used by Palanite Enforcers quite well. Like, for example, you're about to go in and storm a place and you cut the power so that way the lights are off and you go in and, you know, unlock doors and that kind of stuff. I can see that being very powerful ability for Palanite Enforcers for what they do, for example. But it'd be really cool to see exactly if this is real or not, and if it is real, it'd be really cool to see exactly what these guys will end up doing. So that's kind of like a little bit of a teaser there about something I noticed online when I saw this. In fact, when I saw this on Reddit, that's the reason why I started this whole video in the first place, just because it just kind of turned on my imagination and it looked really, really cool as well. So there you guys have it. This is my take on the Palanite Enforcers news. I'm really super excited to see exactly what they end up bringing for Palanite Enforcers. I think it's great that this gang is getting an update. I'm really excited to see exactly what people end up doing. I really like the idea that we're getting like the new Bad Zone Enforcers being attached to this as well, because I could definitely see using a lot of these heads and doing some really cool kit bashing to make Bad Zone Enforcers. I think that'd be really cool. Like, for example, you can give them like black armor and like khaki uniforms or whatever the case may be. But anyways, there you guys have it. That's good for this video. As always, please feel free to like, comment, and or subscribe. You guys' input is valuable to us as always. Also, check us out on Facebook, Instagram for all these greatest hobby news related to this channel. I am Commander Cheapskate. That's good for this one, you guys. I will catch you guys next one. Peace out and stay classy.